Hello, I'm Colette Metz, and I'm going to do a speech today on intercultural communications, the difference between Americans and Japanese. Here is something to think about. What would you say or do when you first meet a Japanese businessman? Will you offend him? Will you come off arrogant? Will he want to do business with you? These are all concerns that can come across your mind when you have to meet someone from another country. My principal concern is that anyone visiting another country should definitely be concerned with intercultural communications. So what does this mean? Everyone will come in contact with someone from another country at least at some point in your life. Everyone will want to give a good impression to the visitor or the host country. Intercultural communication is important to any job. I would like you to learn from this speech how to have good communication skills with someone from Japan. The three major points I will discuss is what are the cultural value differences between America and Japan, what are the factors of intercultural communication so we can avoid these factors, what we need to have intercultural communication competence also. Cultural value differences are, each culture has different values and beliefs. They may also have the same values and beliefs, but have different ways of expressing them. In other words, individualist and collectivist cultures are two different types of cultures. Individualist culture is an I-conscious culture, which is pursuing the individual needs of the people in the culture. The collectivist culture is a we-conscious culture, and that culture pursues the group needs. On the other hand, America is a highly individualist culture. Japan is ranked high on the collectivist culture. No culture is completely one or the other. This creates communication differences. In America, it is very important to be outgoing, interesting, and hold a conversation on a wide range of subjects. In Japan, the group must come first before the individual interests. As Steve McCarty says, individual potential is somewhat nipped in the bud in Japan. Another cultural value difference is the power-distance dimension. Low power-distance dimension tries to reduce status differences. The United States is very high on this list. High power dimension likes strong status differences. The powerful can have behaviors that are different from the less powerful. Japan has a high power dimension background. As Steve McCarty wrote in his article East-West Cultural Differences in Basic Life Stance, it is very difficult for East Asians to see equality between the status. Another aspect of cultural value difference is masculinity and femininity dimension. A masculine culture is ambitious, male dominance, and competitive. Japan ranks high on the masculine list. The United States ranks is fairly masculine. A feminine dimension culture would be affectionate, nurturing, sensitive, and compassionate. You can see this in South American cultures. My second point is how to avoid intercultural miscommunication. Ethnocentrism is the way we think things are good in our culture and think other cultures are bad. For example, during Christmas traditions, some may have elaborate sit-down dinners, or some people may have small appetizer buffets. One person may think that sit-down dinners are the only way to go, and some people will think that appetizer dinners are the only way to go, just because that's what they're used to. Cultural relativism are cultures that are considered equal. Another attitude would be called multiculturalism, which would be the value of diversity between cultures. Misattribution occurs when behaviors in your culture are acceptable, but in other cultures they're not acceptable. The behaviors in individualist cultures are very different than collectivist cultures, so misattribution can easily happen. My final point is to show intercultural communication competence. Be mindful, thinking of others and trying to improve our communication with them, basically thinking of their feelings. Reduce uncertainty by assertiveness and responsiveness to the other person. And promote convergence. Instead of looking for divergence, which is things that separate us, look for convergence, that are things that are similar. In conclusion, Japan and America are different cultures. They are factors that can make a person miscommunicate without even trying. We want to be competent intercultural communicators. To go back to the questions at the beginning, think about how you might answer these questions now. What would you say or do when you meet a Japanese businessman? Will you offend him? Will you come off arrogant? Will he want to do business with you? Your answers are now different because I have given you the tools to be a competent intercultural communicator. I hope this session has given you the insight and tools that make good intercultural relationships. I will close with a quote from a Chinese proverb: "The first man to raise his voice loses the argument." Thank you.